time. Fitness means a lot for you, sports means a lot to you?
Absolutely, I think it's my mind. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. To be honest, fitness and sports is something which makes you happy. I think it changes your life. The first thing which always I think is the issue is the knowledge of it. You know, we are so distracted by other things that we ignore this side. I don't think there's anything greater than being fit. Should keep you happy in your mind and your life.
Great. Well, you know, one of the first things that we've been talking about is marks for sports. Somehow getting schools to pay some attention to sports. You know, people tell their kids, you know, marks aane chahiye, kya khel kood kar rahe ho? So how do we change that? How do we actually get, you know, sports put onto the curriculum? Now we've been pushing that for a while. We do have the Union Sports Minister with us, Devendra. Or you will have him in just a couple of minutes. But Ranbir, this is a question.
We look at sports fundamentally differently. If we don't do that, fundamental changes will not happen. We studied countries across the globe that do well in sport, and we realized that sports is given a lot more importance than what it is in India. So fundamentally, if marks are given for sports, we suddenly say, no, 1 hour of playing is very important because you'll get marks for it. So everything here is linked to marks, everything in India is linked to incentive. We need to incentivize sports and fitness to change the fitness scene in this country.
All right. Discussing this concept of sports, and the basic question is, as you were just saying, that sometimes parents don't want their children to pursue sports, even if they are a potential champion. Why? Because there are no marks for it, because it's not considered the right thing to do. So I was getting Viren to answer that, but maybe you want to just come in with your quick take on this.
Because I feel that parents feel that there is no career in sports in India. Actually there is, but not every child achieves what the ace players have achieved. So there is always a fear in the mind of the parents, and they want their child to go into mainstream. In Maharashtra, we have our policy, sports policy, which gives additional marks to those sports persons who cannot devote their time for studies but excel in sports. So we feel that by giving them additional marks, we ensure that they get admissions in good colleges, in the good courses. But I think we professionally, we need to encourage people so that they also encourage their children to go into sports. Right now, basically we are focused on 2-3 sports only in a society. If it's cricket, you get sponsors, but it's any other sport you don't get a sponsor, or you don't see a very bright career. So I think once we professionalize most of the sports and we create a scenario where in any sports, if you excel, then you have a good career. If this is the case, I think that the people will encourage their children.
All right. Viren, you want to come in on that?
With the fact that right now actually a very minuscule proportion of our population, especially the student population, actually plays sport. If you see a lot of the new schools in urban cities like Mumbai, most of the new schools do not even have playgrounds. So we got to figure out a way how to get kids playing. And what Dharmesh said, that we cannot have sport right now. It's still regarded as an extracurricular activity. We need to get it into more a mainstream activity, that it is an integral part of education. And I think it's not just the sporting part of it which obviously develops our health and etc., but also the sports person's attitude and mentality. I think the life lessons that you learn playing sport especially team sports like football, hockey, cricket, I think they are lessons that the classroom can never teach you. You learn teamwork. None of us work in isolation.
Wherein you're preaching to the converted when it comes to why important it is. I guess the question that we are asking is when you see some young talented person and you are saying, I wish this person would play for India someday, and that person's parents look at and for good reasons. Look at the way we treat many of our sports people, including people who won medals.
As a third child, my parents were very strict with my eldest brother. They were okay, medium with the second guy, and when I came along, they just didn't bother. So,
the third one, they look at me. Have fun.
It shouldn't be that case. It should be for all kids. That unfortunately, we realize only later in life that actually sport was important.
Alright, Mr. Kapoor, let me ask you this question then. So, how do you get kids to continue? One option is marks for sports, which we are talking to the government about. But can corporate India play a role in some way? Maybe by just giving the financial aid, giving jobs, saying that if you have played for the Indian team, or you played for a state team, or you reach a certain level, we will provide you employment in some ways. You don't have to pay.
Not just the championship caliber people. So I think both is important. To train.
Promotes football, and we wanted to promote a new team that is Bengaluru FC. So we selected the players and we brought in a great coach from UK. And actually within the first year, which was our debut year, we won the I-League, we won the tournament, then we won the Federation Cup, and now this year we are number 2 in the tournament. Just by professionalizing the sport and providing the confidence to the players that you will get permanent employment in case you want one. I think the players are doing fantastic. So, and football is one game which is highly fitness oriented. You know, cricket may not be as much fitness oriented as football is, because you have to give in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Similarly, many other sports. You know, the idea is that you have to provide the facilities, as Adi said. You know, that's, I think, very real key, and corporates can really provide that.
But Mr. Fadnavis, just finishing off with the marks for sports concept itself. Now, Maharashtra, perhaps the first state that has actually done it, and there are extra marks that are given. That particular experiment, has it been a good experiment, and how can you, maybe you can give a message to other chief ministers on how they can take it forward?
No, that was a very good experience, but you know, we again want to change it. Initially, we started giving 25 marks to everyone, which was good. Then the policy was changed and 25 marks were given only if you are short of 25 marks. So for passing, you used to get 25 marks. I think we again want to go to the earlier policy where every player who plays at certain level gets certain marks, irrespective whether he has scored more marks even, then he gets this advantage because he has dedicated a lot of his time on the field. So he has lost time which otherwise he could have utilized for studies. So I feel that we will go back to this policy, and I think that is a good policy because it encourages even the scholars to play. Normally we have seen that after 8th standard or 9th standard, people quit sports because 10th is a big deal in our country. So they naturally quit the sport. But when they feel that they get 25 marks and get admission wherever they want due to this 25 marks, they don't quit the field. So I think that's a very good thing to take it forward.
And what are you going to do with people who are, potentially the others who can argue for this to be now spread to other co-curricular activities also? Somebody's good in theatre and drama and all of that, but this is a good start.
We also have other policies which benefit them. So right now, let's focus on sports policy.
Should focus attached to infrastructure. I really wanted you to get you in on this. When you look at the sports infrastructure that we have in our country now, we were discussing a short while back about that. We run a football club, and even for a professional football club, it's sometimes tough to find places to practice. And if that's what happens, what's going to happen to somebody who just wants to go out and play?
Exactly. I've had the good fortune of managing and owning the Mumbai City Football Club. It's a huge platform in the ISL. I think football is such a growing sport in our country. And you get the best of players from all over the world, you get the best managers. But when they come here, you don't know where to play because there's no ground. If my team is staying in Lower Parel, they have to drive all the way to Vashi at this Father Agnes ground because the only ground that they can play is Cooperage, and that's artificial ground. But you actually play the sport on real ground.
From Parel, they're going to Vashi to play because they can't find a football.
Because there's nowhere to play.
That's rather sad. How are we ever going to become a sport? No wonder we are where we are in the FIFA rankings. If we can't, even a city like Mumbai, if we can't get a football ground to play, that's quite serious. So I think you face the same sort of problems, I'm sure.
In Bangalore, our team is from Bangalore. So Bangalore has got many football grounds. It's got the tradition of football. When I was studying in Bangalore doing my engineering, at that time I used to play football. So it's got that tradition. So therefore they have the grounds, but the stadiums are not in great shape. So we are now trying to create one stadium which will be of world class.
Mr. Godrej, we keep talking about infrastructure as being behind all of India.
Emphasis on sport should a lot be on fitness rather than only championship quality. So I think both are very important because I personally feel that if you really encourage...
Requires a lot of infrastructure, perhaps more so than a sport like football does.
I have with the best nations in the world when you look at the speed, fitness, endurance, agility. Shooting really you don't need it's more of a skill-based sport.
What you're trying to say is that Indians are basically a really unfit people, and that's why we better try and find. We better hope that the Olympics entirely becomes around.
I was trying to put it as politely as possible, but
yeah, but I know. So I was just trying to interpret for you.
No, but I think
basically you're saying this is for kids to go and play. Just have a maidan. Let's not have infrastructure. Put up something. Just have a green space where people can go out and play. That by itself would be a start. And maybe we have that in some of the rural areas, but not in the cities again.
So, the whole point started when you were thinking
recreational grounds where if a child goes with a football, it's a horror. Everybody will look at him. Oh, what are you doing? You can't come in here. So the
license
for asking me to work with this department, and we really feel that in his term.
In Olympics, if you introduce a sport like this, that 15 teams playing at a time on a space, they will get Olympics.
Yes, people can medal. Nana Nani walking. Did you say this is easy? This is a breeze.
Vikram, fortunately or unfortunately, it's an occupational hazard for me to be fit. So I always had to be fit. I can't eat anything I want. I can't look fat or unhealthy because it's a visual medium that I'm a part of. Like something that Sir was also mentioning earlier, which I must add that when I was growing up, even though that my parents could afford to send me to places to play, I grew up playing in my friend's building, with like concrete grounds. You're playing cricket there, you're playing football there, you destroy your knees, you get hurt. Then there is a certain fear that also happens in a certain sport. You don't push yourself that much. Sorry, this was just to go back to what you were saying. I wanted to add that. But yes, every film has its own challenges, its physical challenges. In a film that's just releasing on Michael Bombay, where I play a boxer. So there is a certain amount of training that I have to do for it. But if I had implemented that in school itself, if I had done extracurricular activities like boxing, swimming, and other sports, which are not the generic sports that people expect children to play, I think would have really helped.
Well, okay, we might have something to help you a little later. I mean, of course, how the film is out, so it's a bit late in the day. But we do have Vijender Singh who's about to come in and join us. So maybe we could just...
For that first time, I have to be fit. Last 6 months, Ramesh is struggling to make me fit. And I wish and say God, may God allow him to succeed.
Anything specifically asked you to do?
Some fitness regime I am trying to pursue. Let's see.
Your fault, Harmesh.
So challenge accepted. By December we'll get sir in peak fitness. Back to college days.
And if he's not, it's not because he's not doing it, it's because it's your fault. We have given you an excuse also.
Yes, thank you.
It's entirely his fault. He didn't motivate you.
Failure is mine.
So 100 days you're giving yourself.
Yeah, okay.
And now that you're giving it to yourself, how about to anybody else?
Sure. As it is, we have a yoga day on 23rd of June, where we feel that the entire state, entire country, and as well as all our employees should also, practice yoga on that day. So I'll just say that not just a day, let's make it a yoga week, a yoga month, a yoga year, or 100 days of yoga.
Okay, and that's something you might ask Maharashtra government. Alright, so Maharashtra government, you've got that as a challenge from him, and maybe the entire, all people in Maharashtra. Hands up. Names and addresses that you leave, we're coming back to get you 1.5 hours a day. Mr. Government, 1.5 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, come on, you can come. 7 hours, how many hours?
To be honest, I run for 3 kilometers on the treadmill and I'm tired. So unfortunately for me, I'm a cigarette smoker. So I think the 100-day challenge that I want to give myself is to quit smoking.
This one is going to potentially have a very, very major impact. So we're in, okay now. I don't even want to ask you what you do.
Flag of the marathon.
Yes, sir. Okay.
One more excuse.
Yeah. Flagging of the marathon sounds a bit easier. And I'll anchor. You flag it off, I'll anchor on the side and report on it.
Vikram, there was this thing about it's up to God. Just a small thing was we had an Australian physical trainer with the Indian hockey team, and he was this really tough, huge, big, strong guy. And before matches, the Indian team has we all as part of.
But just to ask you, I mean, do you think when you are talking to other people and saying how you're so fit, do you think just make a start? Don't do 1.5 hours. Do 10 minutes. 15 minutes. Do 20 minutes. And now the new science is saying that even 20 minutes will make a substantial difference.
There is a silly fad now that people also think that being fit is going to the gym and having an aesthetic body. Where visually you look good, your muscles are popping and stuff like that. But I don't think that's what really keeps you fit. I think what really keeps you fit is your diet, is constantly moving around, not being lazy. Things like this. I think it's also a misconception that if I have big muscles, I'm a fit person. He could be the most unfit person. I don't think he can do what Mr. Godrej does. Do the only 46-kilometer walk. So I think that kind of knowledge also has to be provided. Is that gym is not fitness. Gym is just part of it.
All right. So let's take a break at this point, and after that, some very special friends.
कितने मिनट का है?
Very appreciated. Focus on the fitness theme, and as we were just saying, the idea is to challenge yourself to do something in the next 100 days to become a bit better and challenge people all around you. And we have a very special panel which is going to take us forward on this. Raju Hirani, renowned filmmaker, made some of the best films ever made in India, and many of them have a socially relevant message. Dia Mirza, actor, producer, somebody who's worked with NDTV on many issues in the past, somebody who always stands up for socially relevant causes. I want to know what challenge you're going to be taking Dia on this. Jayan Pandey, our fitness expert who's often helped us in many things. We've done greenathons and the like together, so we're going to get you to suggest a specific regimen. Someone who knows all about fitness, of course, Devendra Singh, Olympic medalist. Thank you so much for joining us. Should I go in reverse direction? Of course, it requires a certain amount of fitness to be a Devendra Singh or a Floyd Mayweather for that matter. What was your fitness regimen? I mean, and what is the fitness regimen that you go through? And what would you suggest to somebody who doesn't want to be an Olympic boxer but still wants to do something?
You should train, sir. For a boxer, you should train all the time. Like I wake up like 5 in the morning and start my training. Then boxing is like a sports, it's like 24-hour job, we can say that. Because you like sleep on time, eat on time, and wake up on time, training on time. So it's not like that, So it's like 24-hour sports, and you should be like, give you 100% in the every day. So I just keep training all the time.
Yeah, and the challenge which you've been helping us craft, you want to take us through it? What exactly is it that we're asking you?
To develop any good habit, you need at least 100 days, whether it's giving up, trying to give up smoking, alcohol, maybe, something sweet, sugar, anything that's bad for you. 100 days of discipline is needed. And then the 101st day, you will really feel good about yourself. And I don't think it will be a lifestyle change on that day after. Yeah, so...
Okay, should we just take a look at the sort of a challenge that we've been trying to put together? Take a look at this. What do you intend to do?
I think I've been very fortunate. I grew up in an environment that encouraged fitness, so played sport right through school. Went for horse riding, swam through the summers, played badminton, tennis, etc. Kabaddi in school, volleyball. So sport was really a very integral part of my formative years, which is why perhaps that even now, if I do take breaks, and we all kind of tend to get lazy once in a while when we take a break from a fitness regimen that we've been following, I think the one thing that I have adopted over the years is the best way to go back to working out or any kind of a fitness regimen is to take it one day at a time. Push yourself today. Say, today I will not miss my workout. Today I will do my yoga or my functional training or kickboxing, whatever it may be. I will do it today. I think sometimes just the,
it becomes too big a thing to say, okay, I have to do 1.5 hours.
Absolutely, absolutely. And start attack it 5 minutes
I want to
at a time.
challenge yourself in the next 100 days, and anybody else you want to challenge.
I've actually challenged my husband already. So
what did you challenge him to?
I tried very hard before we got married earlier, well, I just want him to get fit. I think he's a writer. He spends a lot of time at his desk.
So a specific challenge coming to you there.
Yes.
What does he have to do now?
Mr. Sahil Sangha, you need to do at least 100 push-ups and 100 squats every day for the next 100 days. 100 squats and 100 push-ups.
Every day for 100 days?
Yes. I'm punishing. It sounds more like a punishment, right?
It's like, how cool is that? How cool is that? Just one
I'll be happy if he, I know.
So how about saying, Sahil, I'm intervening on your behalf. Remember
50 push-ups. 50 push-ups.
Every day or into 100 days you should be able to
do it? Every day. Through the day, 50 push-ups.
50 push-ups over 100 days. That sounds easier. Okay, fine. Build up to 50 push-ups at the end of that. Fine. I'm negotiating this for you so science are slightly better inside. Thank me for this. Over a period of time, build up to 50 push-ups. Okay, that sounds fair. Raju?
No, I
challenge for yourself, challenge for somebody else.
You know, something I have been actually doing for many years is challenging myself and failing. So nobody disputes the importance of being physically fit. In fact, whenever I write, I've discovered that our best ideas come when we walk. In fact, Abhijat Joshi and when we write together, the days when we unknowingly walk for 7 hours because great ideas are coming and we don't want to stop. So there's no dispute on something happens within our bodies when we do some kind of physical exercise. But the problem is actually most of these things are boring. You know, going to the gym is very boring. Doing the 50% is very boring.
Being on a treadmill is boring.
So whenever I play a sport, I feel that somewhere it's very competitive. So I love to play badminton. It's not that I do it very often, but I make sure that 4 days a week.
So how about I have a challenge for you? 100 days from now, you beat Saina Nehwal. Okay, I'm exaggerating a bit. Okay, you beat, let me think, you beat Pia.
Badminton. Assumption that I might not be very good.
No, I'm saying a challenge to you. I'm saying I'm going to give a challenge. I mean, okay, look, Saina Nehwal probably plays badminton better than you, so I'm saying it's slightly easier. So,
okay,
how about that for a challenge?
I think it.
Yeah.
Nobody needs.
We can start playing.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Okay.
I'll get to spend more time with him. That no problem. I'll be happy.
Don't forget to take cards.
Yeah.
Ramesh, I want to just come back to a theme, and I want to get DI on this as well. The sort of theme that I was referring to earlier, which is about setting more reasonable goals for people. As I said in the last segment, a lot of people think it's everything or nothing, and that's really the biggest problem. That either I will eat nothing but salad, or I'm going to eat, aloo ka paratha every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Or either I'm going to run a marathon, I will not exercise at all. So somewhere in between more rational goals. Is that something that you want to tell people? Or you say, no, just go for it.
Because if I demystify fitness, fitness is keeping your heart rate between 123 and 140 for 30 to 45 minutes, 5 times a week.
Can I argue with you on that? That's one definition of fitness. There are other theories that are coming up now, which are saying, as long as the people don't want to work out, do 20 minutes is better than 20 minutes will do something. The other theories, yeah, they say, so there are some theories which say you can get a lot of the benefits even by doing just 15-20 minutes.
But so whatever the time you decide, whether it is 20
minutes or 30 minutes.
For
guys, come on, do it for me.
But the key is, so you often meet a dancer who's just dancing and is really fit, is because he's doing a proper aerobic workout when he is dancing. So, likewise, somebody just playing football can be immensely fit because just he is running around the field. So, the key is, whatever you like, indulge in some serious physical activity for about 45 minutes a day, for 5 days a week, and believe you me, you will feel a different person, you will feel a changed person. So it is important
on all these theories, there are lots of complicated theories. So what he said is yes, that's what people should try and do. The scientific thing says at least 75 minutes of vigorous exercise in a week or 150 minutes of moderate exercise. That's what the official American guideline at any rate is. But let's say you're not doing that. Set yourself a goal, at least stand up and walk around. There's another theory which the Apple Watch, for example, is saying walk 2 minutes every hour. Just stand up, don't just keep sitting. Are those goals also desirable goals?
Start off with it's good. But initially you have to, movement is key. And you have to love and like what you do. Like, he might just like weight training, he likes boxing, I like yoga and weight training. She might like a mix, he likes walking. You have to love what you do, but the right mix of everything, the right balance of everything. You need to weight train, you need to do a bit of flexibility, you need to do your stamina, your agility, all of that, the right mix. Just walking around won't help, right? So,
Here's the other thing, like falling off the wagon, you have erratic schedules, you're out on the shoes, I can't exercise. And sometimes you don't exercise 2 days and you say, okay, that's it, that's done. Does that happen?
It's so much about a mindset thing, right? And the truth is that once you do actually get yourself to play a sport or dance or do anything which is physically active, you discover new boundless energy. You actually have more time, you suddenly have more hours in the day, you feel like you're not agreeing with me. But this is something that I've discovered, and I think, okay, I have an example of a hairdresser who's been working with me for many years, and she was overweight, very, very overweight. And she's lost about 15 kilos over the last 4 months, and it's been really a mind shift. She's become more aware of what she's eating. So it's not about, I will not eat this, I will not eat that. It's just becoming aware of what you're putting inside your body, and also becoming aware of how mobile and how active you are. Right. So she wears a pedometer, she counts her steps. She's more interested in ensuring that she's her physical movement.
Give it some priority. Is that
gradually, actually, all of us become aware when our bodies start, you start feeling stress or you start feeling irritable. Everything boils down to realizing that there's something wrong with our bodies. But I'm saying, if we really teach our kids to start from an early age, which I guess is this initiative, because when we were growing up, I don't think there was major emphasis on, nobody really thought of what food to eat or how to exercise. If we did, it was okay. If we didn't do it, was okay. But if we actually started right from the beginning, because our schools are, still teaching us how to make a living. No school is really teaching us how to live. If they teach us how to live, physical activity will become a very important part of that life. If they teach us happiness, if they
you are saying one of the fringe benefits of all of this is, and you were telling me a little earlier,